What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Mists of Pandaria Classic video. So today I want to talk about a couple of strategies you can use to gear yourself up fast at level 90, when or if you get to level 90 in Mists of Pandaria Classic. Now the thing is, when it comes to gearing up at level 90, you do have a couple of thresholds you want to meet. So first of all, you have to be about 431 item level to queue up for heroic dungeons. So queuing up for these, you will not be able to do that right away, and you will need to reach a certain amount of item level, which I do think is going to be about 430 or 431. Now, in addition to that, we also have Raid Finder in Mists of Pandaria, in which case queuing up for Mogashan Vault requires 460 item level, and queuing up for Heart of Fear requires 470 item level as well. And if you have been questing, well, you might have a couple of green items that looks like this, 429 for example on this trinket, or this one right here being 399 as well. So you really want to have a couple of ways to get yourself some good items very early, and hopefully this video right here helps you out with exactly that. I kind of want to give a step by step as well, talking about what I would do first, which it all will make sense at the end. So whenever I get to level 90, my plan is to do exactly this. I'm going to start out by doing daily, every single daily that I can, and the main purpose of doing that is to gather up 15 lesser charms of a good fortune. When you have 50 lesser charms of good fortune, you can convert those to 3 elder charms, which gives you 3 bonus rolls in Mists of Pandaria. From here, you can now start doing world bosses. So we for example have Shah of Anger, who can spawn in many different locations in Kunlai Summit, and you also have Salius's Warband or Galleon, who can spawn about where I'm pointing now, in Valley of the Four Winds. And if you go to Shah of Anger for example, looking at the loot he drops a bunch of PvP items, like mainly PvP items with 483 item level. That being said, Shah of Anger can also drop tier hands and tier legs, and these are 496. So here you can see the tier hands, 496. Scrolling down also drops tier legs. So when it comes to PvE items, those are the ones you're looking for, and you also obviously get item level upgrades with PvP items as well. From Salius's Warband, you're looking at various off pieces that are 496, so he does not drop any PvP items, just straight up 496 PvE items. And the reason why you want to do dailies before doing these is to get those bonus rolls, giving you 2 chances of loot. So when you have gotten 50 lesser charms, you can do a weekly quest to convert 50 lesser charms into 3 elder charms. That gives you 3 bonus rolls, and you can use one of them every single kill, which means you can kill Shah of Anger, loot him first for the regular loot, and then you can use your bonus rolls to get loot one more time, giving you 2 chances of loot from Shah of Anger. Then you can go to Salius's Warband or Galleon, do the same thing over there, kill the boss first, look for regular loot, and then use your bonus roll for 1 more chance of loot. In total, this gives you 4 items or 4 chances at items, and they can all drop 496 item level. Now, one more thing about Shah of Anger is that he will drop, guaranteed no matter what, something called Claw of Anger, which you can hand in at the Shadow Pan in Town Long Steps to get yourself some 476 boots, which means even if you don't get any loot from regular looting or bonus looting, you are guaranteed to get 1 piece of 476 loot no matter your class. And these right here are the boots that I have. For example, you can see Crushing, Threads of Anger, and on this character right here, I have those boots. So no matter what, you can get these boots right here, or equivalent boots for plate, mail, and cloth as well, giving you at least 1 epic piece. But obviously, it's 476, meanwhile the actual boss loot is 496, so you really want to get lucky on those bonus rolls and regular loot. Now, going back to the start of this video, when you're doing your dailies for your lesser charms of good fortune, you will probably end up doing some dailies with the Klaxi, in the Dread Wastes. Over here you will have a bunch of treasures you can obtain. I will say they are rare, and the chances of them being up when you look for them is very small, but it's definitely worth looking at. So over here you have a bunch of trinkets, a bunch of weapons, and even a necklace, all of which are 450 item level, and for example here is what a couple of them looks like. You for example have this right here, a one-handed sword, 450 item level, requires level 86, and it's a bind to account, which means you can use it on all of your characters. You also have this one right here, a soul-bound trinket, 450 item level as well, very good for just pumping up your item level. You also have the staff, for example, intellect, stamina, 450 item level, and bind to account. You also have the necklace right here, bind to account, and 450. And for the purpose of knowing where those treasures are, I'm just gonna say download an add-on called Handy Notes and get the extension from Mists of Pandaria to get locations for all of these rares, but you can also just freeze frame this video right here and you can see the icons on my minimap, like on my map right here. So whenever you're doing your dailies, take a lap through Dread Waste and see if you get any of these items, and if you do, that is a very easy upgrade. Now another way to get some very good item level very easy and very fast is to simply do PvP, so queue up for battlegrounds and try to get some honor points, even conquest points as well, if the PvP season has actually started. But even just using your honor points, you can buy 458 item level gear. So for example, this ring right here, this ring as well, you can basically fill out all of your lowest item level pieces with 458 item level gear. And that way, like, PvP gear is obviously not optimal to have when it comes to doing PvE content. So PvP gear in raids, for example, that's not really that great. And same with PvP gear in heroic dungeons, not really that great. But it's a huge upgrade compared to green questing gear, and it's a good way to just get the item level you need to start doing heroic dungeons, and then you can replace these items right here with actual heroic loot like this whenever you get that loot as well. It is just a good way to get to that benchmark of being able to queue up for heroic dungeons, and if that's not to your liking, like if you don't want to waste time doing battlegrounds, you can also buy gear, and for this purpose you can buy a bunch of gear on the auction house, different types of gear. So you can for example buy epic items like tailoring, can craft some pretty cheap cloth gear. So this one for example, bracers, epic bracers, 2,500, and they are 496 item level. You also have some cloth hands, they are 1.4k. That is incredibly cheap, and this is because, well, some of these are world drops, and some of them are crafted items that only take 4 days of daily cooldown in order to craft them. So the tailors, they make gold either way, so you can get some very cheap epic items on the auction house very early, but they will obviously cost you more than if you buy something like the blue items. So it depends on how try hard you are, and how hardcore you're going, and how much gold you have, obviously. So you can buy epic items, or you can look for cheap blue items. Reflection of the Sea, for example, 450 item level. Necklace, 78 gold. Even an upgrade for me at the moment, item level wise. You can also buy Rogue Stone Shadow Band made with jewel crafting, and you can buy like Masterwork Spirit Guard Breastplate or the entire plate set, 450 item level, costing you about 300 gold per piece. You can also buy yourself PvP gear, by the way, 450 item level, and you can buy this both for cloth, plate, leather and mail, and they're typically very cheap as well. But people need to get the recipes for these, and the chances are that people are not going to have these recipes right away in Mists of Pandaria Classic. So this strategy right here will be way more relevant in Phase 2, for example, or even after a couple of weeks. But you will be able to buy yourself some pieces on the auction house to get a couple of item level boost from there. So for example, everyone can buy rings that people can make with jewel crafting, and they will very likely be somewhat cheap as well, especially at the start when everyone is skilling up jewel crafting anyway, and they want to make these items for those skill points. You can also buy yourself a trinket if you go to trinkets right here, the Ghost Iron Dragonling. It's made through engineering, and everyone can use this. Gives you a chance to summon a Dragonling, 450 item level trinket, even has 3 cogwheel slots available. It's a huge trinket to have, and will probably be an item level increase to pretty much everyone when you refresh level 90. Obviously, you're way better off buying something like Relic of Suen, which is a very good trinket, the Darkman Fair trinkets, but they are 25,000 gold. Meanwhile, Ghost Iron Dragonling is 300 gold, quite the difference. Now the good thing here is that you can start working towards stockpiling gold right now before Mists of Pandaria comes out, and that way you're effectively working towards the Mists of Pandaria endgame before Mists of Pandaria even comes out. So start farming gold right now in Cataclysm, and I'm just gonna say that I do have a gold making guide for Mists of Pandaria if you're looking to make a lot of gold in Mists of Pandaria Classic. If you do buy this guide, you also get the Cataclysm guide for free in the same purchase, effectively giving you 2 guides for the price of 1. That way you can use the Cataclysm guide to make gold right now in Cataclysm, and you can also use the Mists of Pandaria one to make gold in Mists of Pandaria. Now when you buy the guide, you also get exclusive content. So I already have 2 videos made that are exclusive to the guide, and it's videos that I will never make public. You will only have access to them by having that guide, and you will also get early access to more content coming out in Mists of Pandaria itself. There will likely be more exclusive content coming out over time as well. So basically you get earlier access to content in the expansion, and you also get exclusive access to other content as well. So check it out through the link down below, and once again you can use the Cataclysm guide to farm gold right now in Cataclysm, stockpile that gold, and buy BOEs in Mists of Pandaria Classic. And the link to that guide is going to be down below in the video description. Now, once you have done everything we have talked about so far, it's all been about getting enough item level to do various types of content. You just want to get enough item level to queue up for heroics, and once you can do that, you start getting valor points, you start getting justice points, and at that point you can spend your justice points to get upgrades where you need them, because justice points doesn't really give you the best loot, but valor points definitely gives you the best loot. So you just want to cap your valor points every single week, spend your valor points wisely, and once again keep doing your weeklies to get your bonus rolls and spend those wisely as well. Either way, hopefully these tips help you out in your gearing process when you hit level 90 in Mists of Pandaria, and hopefully it contains some information that you didn't have prior, like for example the PvP gear, or the guaranteed item drops from Shaw of Anger, or going for those bonus roll coins before killing those world bosses. You definitely don't want to waste your chance at getting those bonus rolls, because those items could be very insane. So yeah, let me know your gearing process. If it's any different, let me know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below as well. As always, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.